Hello everyone, Jennifer Maker here. Today I want to share some of my favorite finds from Amazon that will level up your Cricut. Everything I mentioned today can be found over at jennifermaker.com/Cricut finds. I put the link at the bottom of the screen if you want to hop over there. It's just an Amazon shopping list so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, right? So jennifermaker.com/Cricut finds. All right, so let's start with the very first one. And it is this light. I am in love with this little LED lamp. This is a USB powered lamp with a flexible neck, and it is a great find for my Cricut Maker, both the original and the Cricut Maker 3. And that's because I can plug it right into the USB port on the Maker to power it. Did you know you had a USB port? Let me show you how that works. So here is the USB plug. On your Cricut Maker, it plugs in right there, and then with your power turned on, your Cricut, there we go, you can then power on your light, and it's actually got different brightnesses. I love this, and it's on like a flexible neck, so you can put it wherever you want. Isn't that cool, right? So this plug here, this USB port here, it's a regular USB-A port, and it's intended for, like an iPad or a phone. And you can just place your phone up here while you're working so that you can see it. Mine's kind of small, but if it was like an iPad, you'd be able to see it better. So that's what it's for, right? It's for plugging in a mobile device. I charge my devices off of it all the time, but you can also use it for something like this. Isn't that cool? I love this little light. All right, the next item. If you've ever had a floppy mat on your Cricut, you are going to love the extension tray, which works on both the Explore and the Maker machines. So these are little plastic extensions that clip on to the fold down door, and they give more support to your mat. So let me show you how it works, and I'll show it on both of the machines. So on the Maker, what you'd want to do is put it into this little section right here. So there's 4 parts, and you want to take the 2 longest parts and the shortest part. So this part you don't use, okay? And you clip it onto the little section right here. And you want to do it so that this part is in the center. And then you go ahead and you connect them. You don't, like I found that I often don't have to. If you're switching between your Maker and Explore a lot, I find it's really just fine like this, but this bridges the 2. And it just slides right in there like that. All right, and then if we take a mat, see how it's not falling off the edge of your tray? Now, if you're working on a work surface like this, it's not a big deal. It just sits on right on your surface, right? But if you're using the really long one, or if you are using a shelf, or you have your Cricut, higher up off of your surface, your mat will want to flop over, and this is really nice. I really like this. All right, so that's how it works on the Maker. All right, so for the Explorer, you can take everything apart, and you want to use the 2 long pieces and this the longer of the 2 bridges. So you don't need the small one, you just need this one. And then you connect those like this. And then it goes onto your drawer, your fold down drawer, just like this. So this is really useful if it's driving you nuts, or you have your Cricut elevated off of your work surface, okay? And this is the extension tray. Remember, everything that I'm talking about today is linked in the link that you see right here on my screen, jennifermaker.com/Cricut finds. These are all cool things that I found that I feel like they level up our Cricut experience. The next thing I want to show you is the organizer tray. And this fits into the Cricut Maker. It has little compartments that are perfectly sized to fit into the fold down tray that we have on our Cricut Maker, right? Bring that up here. And that is this right here. right? Everyone knows that we have a little hidden compartment here, right? Sometimes people don't know. It's intended to put tools and blades in there. But if you put just loose things in there, I'll grab some right now, right? So they're just kind of loose and it's fine. But people have actually made these really cool organizer trays that fit in here. And you can get some on Amazon. They look like this and they're just simple but very clever trays that are perfectly sized for Cricut tools. That's what I love about them. They fit right into this tray on the Maker, and it's both the Maker 3 and the original Maker. So here's the tray, and let's put this one. There's these two little things that fit right under the hinges here, see? And it fits perfectly in there. One of my favorite things. I love that. This one here, notice that it's got a different shape here, and it fits into your tray like this. Don't you just love it when things fit perfectly? This is the Maker tip organizer, and this one fits right into your tray right here, like that. And then this one is a housing organizer, and note that it's got the little cutout here for the hinge in the back here. There. Isn't that awesome? So let me show you how you can actually fill it up. We can put our scraper tool in here. It fits right in there. We can put our scissors in here. They fit right here. We can put let's see, what else can we do? A weeding tool. Could we put it here? There we go. A pen maybe there. What about here? Maybe another weeding tool or a scoring tool. I don't think our spatula will fit there, no. How about our tweezers? I love these pretty ones. I don't know if those will fit for sure. Let's see. No, sticking out. Well, you want to make sure it closes, right? So let's try this weeding tool instead. There we go. That's all. That's good. Okay. And then here we can fit anything, all the things with the gears, they go right into here, like this. Here are the housings. I'm going to put this one here. That's the foil tip. That's the foil transfer tool. That's the bonded fabric blade. And then we go with another one here. And our Maker tool tips, I'll fit right in here. Now, of course, you don't have to have this if you don't want anything like this, but it's pretty cool, I have to say. So the things I couldn't fit in here, my extra scraper, these tweezers, I have a lot of weeding tools. I had one more extra of these. This doesn't fit here. There's another one. But like, look at how much we got in there. So let me close it up so you can see. We want to make sure it closes. Something's not closing, so let's figure out what that is. Felt like it was over here. I wonder if it's one of these. We've got the little gear things back here. I feel like they might need to have their plastic guards need to be down. There, let's try that now. There we go. And then it closes up just like that. And then it's all your tools are in there when you're ready to use them. And you just open it up and there they are. Isn't that cool? What happens if you have all of these tools, and they don't all fit in here? Or what do you do if you have the Explorer and you don't have a good organizer tray? So I have another Cricut tool organizer for everyone to look at. And this, again, will work whether you have the Maker or the not. This is from Cricut, and it fits all of the tools inside. The upper section, which is hinged like this, fits up to 10 housings. And this is just kind of hang from here, right? While the bottom section is perfect for the quick swap tools. And I love that the top flips up, but the bottom can just unscrew. So you don't have to take everything apart to get to the tips down here. So let me show you how I use it. I actually use this one a lot. So let's take out our things here. So the tips, they just go right down into this little rubberized section down here. So see right here? So you can fit a lot down here. And this is where actually I would say most of my tips are being kept here at the studio, is in the Cricut tool organizer, because it's then independent and I can just kind of grab it wherever I'm working and move it around, and it's not in one Cricut. This one's harder to get to. There we go. So these are the quick swap tips, you know, for things like the scoring tool and the engraving, the wavy tool, the perforation, the things like that. Okay, and then this just screws on top like this, and it flips up, and then you can just insert all of your housings right into this, and they just slide here. So it's really easy to do. And you can put the big ones in the back here like this. And it's good that I'm doing this because, like I said, this is what I usually use most of the time, and now everything can go back in here. There we go. It doesn't fit any other tools, like it doesn't fit any of these tools, but it's really just your housings and your maker tools. Isn't this cool? I love this. And then it closes up. It's a nice little compartment. It's got a no slip base on the bottom. It's really awesome. So this is similar to the weeding ring that I've showed you before, but this one sits right onto your work surface, and it will stay put with a little suction base while you're working with it. And this is for weeding vinyl. Okay, so let's take it out. This is brand new. I haven't opened this one up yet. All right, so it is, so as you can see, it's bigger than the ring, if you remember the ring, which actually was originally meant for holding a bottle of nail polish, by the way. So this one is meant for vinyl weeding, and you can just kind of set it onto your area, and it's not going to move around. And then when you're weeding, let's grab a weeding tool, right? You can just pick up your little piece and you just put it in here, and it just, right? So as you're weeding, all the scraps come off like this. It's really cool. All right, in just a second. There we go. Something on my screen was weird. So this is, I think, really cool if you are weeding. And so instead of like putting it in the back of your hand, which I have certainly done and probably will still do in the future, or putting it in a pile on your desk where it could like accidentally get back into your project or wherever, this is really handy. And because it's made of silicone, the vinyl won't stick to it. And so when it fills up, you just reach right into it. You take out all this, it becomes like a sort of ball at that point, and you just take it out and you discard it, and that's it. It's really cool. So also, it's got hinges on it, the side here. So you see that? I'll take it off a little, right? Hinges right here, so you can adjust it to the right angle while you're working. Right? And remember, because it's made out of silicone, the vinyl scraps won't stick to it. You just empty the collector when it's full, and that's it. Super cool. So you might like the weeding ring better. It's smaller and it'll move around with you. Like if you're weeding on a couch or something, right? Some people like to do that while they're watching TV. I don't usually do that because weeding is challenging for me. So I'm usually sitting right here under my lights so I can get the best possible environment for weeding. But yeah, I really like that it has a little section on it, and then you can just hinge it. It's pretty cool. All right, so that is the, it's called Tweaksy. Here's the box here. It's called Tweaksy. So the same company that makes the ring hinge, Tweaksy hinge. Super grip, no tip, smart grip, airlock technology. All right, so that's that. But then I have another weeding vinyl tool that I wanted to show you. Let's move this over here. All right, so this one is a little bit different, and it's possible that you might like it better. This one is actually new to me, but I thought it was different. I liked the way it looked, right? And I thought it had some promise to it. So it doesn't have a non-slip base, but It's got all these little points in it, and they're really, if you look at them up close, they're really very sharp on the edges. So I feel like it would be, if you struggle with getting the vinyl off of your weeding tool, I feel like these would be really easy to get it off, right? Because there's 5 of them, so the compartment is huge. So if you're like doing a big project, you might like this. The other thing that I liked about this one is that you can actually rest your tools on it, right? So this might be something you could just keep right at your desk or your work area or whatever. And so it's almost doubles as a kind of tool organizer. I thought that was pretty cool too. All right, and then the last one I want to show you is this one. So let's make a little space. I've been talking about this one for a while. These are LED weeding tools. These are so cool and very pretty too. So they have lights on them. And when we light them up, you can see I wish I had a weeded project to show you how it works, but I can still light them up right now. So you see that really bright LED on it. So when you are weeding with it, you can see what you're doing. Like, I love this. So no matter where you are on your project, right? And also, by the way, if you ever struggle with weeding like I do, light makes a huge difference in the ability to see those little tiny lines as you're weeding. And because you can then move this around on your project, it's going to illuminate all of those cut lines for you so that you can see exactly where you want to weed, right? And then here's the other one. So there's actually 2. This is a straight, get that chance to focus. There we go. This is the straight one. This is my favorite one. And then there is a hook one, which is not my favorite one. I'm not a fan of the hook weeder. I like the straight one. The hook one drives me nuts. So there we go. All right, so this is our countdown to the 5 favorite things that I found on Amazon that I think are really cool for leveling up your Cricut. So number 1 is this LED light that you can plug right into your Cricut's USB port. And I don't mean the power port, I mean the one on the side, the accessory one. That is right here. This is awesome. It's so cool, and I love this light because you can put it wherever you want and you can turn it off. You can change the settings. It's super cool. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is the accessory tray dividers, the little compartments that you can put into your Cricut Maker. So you can keep all your tools in here nice and neat and compartmentalized. Everything is really easy to get to, and it still closes up and you can still put away your Cricut. Okay. And number 3 are the tray extension guides that clip right onto the flip down tray on your Cricut. And then your mat doesn't flop over when it's coming out. Number 4 is another tool organizer. And you can use this with the Explore or the Maker or really any of the Cricuts. This is sold by Cricut. So it's got their symbol at the top here, Cricut. And it flips open like this. And it's got this cool screw off bottom for all of your tips for your quick swap housing. And it's really convenient, easy. I love how it's just cute, easy to move around. And then our weeding tools. So this is the Twixie hinge. So it's a big silicone weeding collector that you can put all of your scraps in as you're weeding. It's got a suction base. It's got a hinge on it. Really nice. It's a cute color too. Or this little thing, which has these nice little V's for getting off all your vinyl, and a big container for keeping all your vinyl scraps in there, and also it'll hold your weeding tools when they're not in use. And then finally, we have our light up weeding tools, right? You can just light them right up like this, and they help you see your project better. So those are my Cricut favorite finds that I think that they're really fun designs, and most importantly, though, they make a difference in our ability to use our Cricuts. They help us organize, they help us do things better. So hopefully one of these is helpful to you and will help you level up your Cricut and help you do more and make more awesome things. If you have any questions about using these Cricut tools, just let me know. Leave your question in the video, or you can come join our Cricut Crafters and Makers chat at jennifermaker.com/CricutCrafters. And that's it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.